What's up, everybody?
Hello, hello.
My name is Eddie D.
I'm Nicole.
You're watching another episode of the Affinity Saga podcast.
Yep.
As I always start off, just want to thank everyone who has gotten a book, read a book, talked about the book, posted about the book, talked to me about the book, told everybody else about the book. We're just grateful to everyone. Too many names to rattle off. But again, just grateful to each and every one of you who have thought it not robbery, as we say in the church, to do something book related with the Affinity Theory and the Affinity Saga. Again, this book would have gotten out regardless, but you guys are making every decision that we've made thus far worth it. And so again, thank you to all of you who have made the Affinity Theory and the Affinity Saga possible the way that you have.
Yes.
I'm certainly grateful to everyone. Thank you for listening to this podcast as we are going chapter by chapter through the Affinity Theory and the subsequent books that will be a part of this podcast as well. And so again, if you have not read the book, you do not want to be listening to this podcast. But if you have read chapter 6, which is this episode today, then this is the episode for that. And so again, thank y'all so much for your listening, for your support, for your viewership. Anything you want to say to the people?
No, just thank you. And for those who have been along for the ride, thank you. And for those just joining, buckle up because it's an amazing book. Great detail, great storyline, great conversation, great action. So thank you for being with us. If you have not gotten the book yet, go get it. So you can read it with us, talk about it with us, ask your questions so we can answer. But yeah, I say let's jump right into it. Chapter 6.
Well, before we do that, you had said any questions that people may have. I've got a running list of questions that are right here. And so do you want me to pick the question or do you want to pick a question?
Let's see.
Is there a
specific question that you want to answer first?
I have no preference whatsoever.
So let's see here. Okay. I feel like we've talked about our powers, I thought.
We talked about it in either episode, either chapter 4 or 5. We talked about that.
We talked about our favorite powers of theirs or powers that we would want.
Powers of theirs.
Theirs?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what is a power that you would want?
Oh, I want to fly.
You want to fly?
Yeah, I want to be able to fly. I'm tired of gas. Yeah, straight up. I'm tired of gas. I'm tired of paying for gas. I'm tired of it. Especially when it's just me. When it's just me by myself, and I just want to go somewhere. I don't have to get in the car. Just put my clothes on, make sure I'm buttoned up and everything in case a bird hit me, and just be able to go where I want to go. Ain't got to worry about getting in no line. Ain't got to worry about traffic. None of that crap. No gas. I just want to go. If it's just me, I would love to do that. If I had one of their powers, it'd be Alexia, so that I can grab all of us at once and we can go and do what we want to do. I'll put us in a little bubble and be done. Like I'm tired of gas. I'm tired of gas money. That's one expense that if I could keep my coins, that would be what it is. So I would love to be able to fly. I'd be the eagle for real.
I got you. I got you. Well, the eagle, she can't fly.
That's why I say she'd be the eagle for real.
Oh,
I've actually in there's a line in one of the books where I talk about the fact that she's like being pushed by some wind, and I say she was about to become the eagle for real.
When she was soaring, said,
yeah, like no, I don't want to be the eagle for real.
Okay. Well, I mean, if there's another question on there you want to ask before we get started.
No, what's your power? What do you want?
See, that's hard for me. I would not pick flying because I'm afraid of heights. So
that part, yeah.
That part.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. That is very difficult for me. I would say I would cheat and be like, I want a power where I can do whatever I want. So if I wanted to fly, I would fly. If I want a drink, snap, there it is. If I want to know what you're thinking, boom. What?
Oh, so you're Alexia then?
No, I'm everybody. If I want to conjure up something, I'm going to.
So you're him.
I'm Oblivion. Oh my god.
Well, not him. No, not him.
Trent. I'm Trent. I got them all. I just know that I'm not gonna try to like use them all at the same time, you know, and overexert myself. But yeah, if I want to do something, I'll do it. You know, that'll be my power. So if I want to be strong as crap, I'm just gonna open my jar of pickles and it'd be good. Or if I want to shoot something, just come out, bam, bam. What's the other ones?
Speed.
If I wanna get somewhere real quick, boo. Hey y'all, just hold on to me. Do not let go. Hawaii, here we come.
Right.
Running on water. A split, okay. So yeah, I was just conjuring them all up.
Dang. Okay. I see what you did there.
You'll fly. So you'll take one of the girls in the air. I'll take one of them on water.
There you go. I have to make it work. I know. I'll get in the gym. I'll be able to bench 350. That way I can carry all y'all without breaking sweat. Be like, Terry, get on my back. Get on my back, Jake. Get on my back, Jake. Come here, strong man.
I hate that line. I hate that line.
I hate it too.
Oh my gosh.
Like that. I told you that's when the show started going kind of like in that direction where it's just like everything's funny all the time now. No. Like that don't even fit you.
It does not.
But
it does
whatever,
not.
man.
But yeah.
Whatever. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Chapter 6. Now I'm getting so excited. I'm throwing my pen.
Look at you.
A conversation. So we're gonna start off. This is basically the chapter after after Simone's like first battle. And so first of all, I want to say they're getting back to HQ. Her first battle. They're not doing the debriefing in this chapter.
Right.
But basically we'll talk about that in the next chapter because equipment failure my ass. She's mucked up. But question, I do have a question. Equipment failure.
Something was wrong with the rigging. I remember your movie.
So I'm gonna read this, okay? Director, this is like on the first page and starting second paragraph.
Okay.
Director Malik stood about 15 feet in front of it. Talking about the elevator shaft outside where the hover pad is. She wore sunglasses to block the 3 suns Urethra revolved around. She examined Simone's tattered nanites and inquired, "What happened to you out there, Simone?" "Either equipment failure or a lapse in judgment on my part." Lapse in judgment. Simone sighed. "She's going to think I'm an idiot and have me demoted." And then I said, "You are an idiot." But my question is, not Simone, but Malik was standing out there. Why was Malik standing out there? Is she always stand out there and wait for them after a battle?
Well, if she says later on in that chat, in that same sequence, because they get in the elevator and Malcolm asks her, "You're not coming with us on the top of 67. You're not coming with us," and she said, "No, I'm waiting for another team to come back from a mission." And so the assumption is she's wanting to talk to the other team that's coming. There's another team on their way. So there was another team that went on a different mission, and she wants to talk to them. They just happened to arrive before them, and so she's not there to meet them. Like good work, team. And she's waiting for the other team to show up.
Okay,
that's the assumption.
Yeah. Okay, that was my question because as we get further into it, like we don't ever see her, like waiting for a team to come in again, and so I thought there was a reason why, or if it was just that she normally does wait for the team and you're just kind of showing us that, moment, and then, don't show us again. We just assume that's what she does when teams come back. She greets them, waits for them because, they just like went out there and
basically risked their lives and all that jazz. And I mean, that might be a component of that in there, but it's not something that I thought about, at least not yet.
Yeah. Just curious, just a quick question. But yeah, I don't want to go too fast. So stop me if I'm moving too fast.
I got you.
Okay. So we start to get into going into the company and seeing everything. And I think this is where Malaysia, I believe, is about to show her like the grounds a little bit more and the rooms and stuff because Simone hasn't seen her room yet.
Right.
And so Malaysia is about to show her all that. And we get info that there are 9 rooms. So with there being 9 rooms, that tells me that it maxes out at 9. but we haven't got 9 yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird because you make this big old place, but you only make 9 rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you only make 9 rooms? And I don't want you to like tell it to where it's going to be telling us, you know,
any like grand scheme of plans in the future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So without giving the saga away, what made you cap it out at 9?
Yeah, no problem. So one of the notes that I wrote before even getting to this chapter was, right here, that little note right there, Enneagram. And so in making the characters, and this was part of the character development process, I studied on how to make your characters. And one of the things that one of the authors, I can't remember who it was, advised on was to use personality tests to make your characters. And so every character who is a part of the team carries an Enneagram trait. They're not specifically tied to the Enneagram, like they're locked into a number per se, but the character traits that the characters have, they are locked into like they're part of that system. And so what that means is every character is displaying primary traits that then drive how they act. So a lot of the questions that you had before about why is Simone like this, or why is Malcolm like this, why is Alexia like this, why is Malaysia like this, the Enneagram answers that question. They are like this because their personality type, it matches a lot of this system. And so that's why they act the way that they do. I didn't want the characters to feel too similar to each other to where they didn't have any personality. Because a lot of what's going to happen throughout the book and throughout the saga, you're going to ask a lot of those, why did you do that? But why did you do that? Like we said in one of the episodes, wouldn't even been no book, wouldn't even been no movie, wouldn't even been no story, and that's the reason, because we can see in hindsight that was dumb. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. But then when you go to other the story then would not have been what the story was if we had done it the way that we think it ought to have been done. Just throw it.
Thank you.
And so so again, the Enneagram is what drove that. Furthermore, that the 9 in that system really drives a lot of what's happening, because I've even said it to everyone who asks, when this saga is done, it's going to be 9 books. So it's a trilogy of trilogies.
Oh, look what you did there. 9 books, 9 elite, 9. Okay, I see you.
You see what I'm saying?
I see you.
You see it? You see
so
it?
Then what in Wick and this is not in our notes, but what you're saying is kind of cool. So what made you want to do a trilogy of trilogy? And then my other question is, I want you to talk more about the Enneagram, because I don't think we've talked about that in this podcast. And the Enneagram is a big deal with it's a big, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's big on your characters.
Yeah.
How you developed your characters is by you looking at the Enneagram. And with the Enneagram, there are 9.
There are 9 primary traits for each one. Absolutely.
Okay. So first question is, what made you want to do a trilogy of trilogies?
So for me,
and it didn't start out that way. It wasn't a trilogy.
It wasn't a trilogy of trilogies at first. In the beginning, it's supposed to stop at 7. It's supposed to stop at 7, and you got the notes in the book for that, where these were the what was supposed to happen. But then, as the story got bigger, I realized that it's going to take more than this. But I don't want to drag it on either. Like at some point, this has to end. This has to stop. Like I can't drag this on for 20 books, because I don't have 20 stories to tell with these characters. I mean, you
could with different battles. I guess
I could, like if I split them up, but then it'd feel more like the Animorphs in those like the Goosebumps type books that were very thin, 100 pages each. they would do stuff like that where they would have like these little battles.
Yeah.
And so they would stretch them out and you could drag it on for 20, 30, 40 books.
Because you have each character that could be dealing with like a different like bad guy and the team helping that character, another story, team helping a different one.
Exactly. So it could feel more like a serial drama where the Sentinel Bank, for instance, in chapter 4, you could stretch that whole thing out where you have the scene where we go battle plan. We have a scene where they're eating lunch, or we have a scene where they're training and getting ready, and they're, you could have stretched it a little bit more. But again, my book doesn't read like that. And so for me, the story has to end somewhere, and I know where I want it to end.
Yeah.
When it comes to who the principal characters are, where I want them to go, where I want the bad guys to go, and all that. So at the end of it all, once that bad guy's gone, the book is done. The series, the saga is done. So again, in thinking everything through, right?
Because you started out, I mean, with the first book. I mean, if you think about it, when we get into the other books, even I feel like when we get to the end of this book, when you start this book out, the big bad guy is not on the scene yet, but it's like his character is thought of.
Yeah. Like it's forming. There is a big bad that's looming. And I got that from the Avengers. First Iron Man. The first Iron Man, no one's thinking about anything outside of Iron Man. This is an Iron Man movie. It just is what it is. Truth moment. I didn't stay for the end credits. The first time I saw the movie in the theaters, I left when the credits rolled. Because that's how I felt for... No, listen, it was the first one. I didn't know that there was this thing called post-credit scenes until I'm watching the DVD. And the credits are rolling. I'm kind of fading out of my own little thoughts. And then here comes this post-credit with Fury talking to Iron Man, talking about, have you ever heard of the Avengers Initiative? Or I like to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. Wait, what? What's that? And so for me, that's what set the stage. And so as I continue devouring Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain America, then the first Avengers, Iron Man 2, like I started to see what they were building up to.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't got nothing to do with these characters. There's this big bad out here who eventually is going to show up, and when he does, it's going to be really bad. And sure enough, it was as bad as everybody thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I'm not even worse than what they thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And so that's what helped me to be able to crystallize, like I said before. I didn't say this to you. I said it to someone who asked the question on a live. I said, when it comes to writing, I said what I did as I've been working on my craft is I write the main story first. After I get done, plotting and all that kind of stuff, I write the main story first. Once that main story is written, that's actually the hardest part for me. That's the hardest part, is writing the actual story, the main storyline. But once that's done, now I get to drop Easter eggs. And all throughout book 1, there are Easter eggs y'all don't even know about. We know about them because we're already 4 books deep, but no one knows what these Easter eggs are.
And that is what makes you want to read the book more than once.
Right. Especially when book 2 comes out, because you're going to be like, dude, I missed that whole thing.
Yes.
And it's like, I dropped it in a chapter and you're never going to pay attention to it again because I never bring it up again.
Yeah.
And when we'll talk, and then we're going to talk about it in the next chapter. Like, there's a whole Easter egg. I'm not going to tell you what the Easter egg is. We're just going to talk about it, because it's there. But I'm not going to talk about it anymore because we literally don't talk about it anymore in the book.
Yeah.
Then we get the book 2. It's going to be like, dude, I never paid attention to that. I did it on purpose. Like, and so when we get to next chapter, we'll talk about that. But there are Easter eggs all over the place to where when you get to book 2 and get to book 3, you're like, dude, I never thought that this was that. But we've been, like you said, setting up for it the whole time. Yeah. And I got that from watching the MCU and how they set all that up. It's the reason why the DC universe with Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and Aquaman failed in retrospect, because they forgot how to tell a good story. They were trying too hard to mimic what the MCU did. And all the MCU did was, I'm going to tell you a bomb story. I'm going to drop stuff in here you ain't even paying half attention to. And then when it shows up, you're like, oh, dude, I got to go back. Right. Let me go back. Because, again, we were talking about this when we ran through it another time. Like, there were some things that we were catching in. Like, dude, I didn't even realize they were talking about it right there. Telling the girls, y'all remember this part? You remember this? When did they talk about this? So that's what you see here. And so, how did we get here? Your first question. How did we get here? Why nine? Why nine? Why nine? Yeah. You said why nine? So that's the reason. So the reason for a trilogy of trilogies is because there are certain elements of the overarching story that require 3 acts to tell.
Okay.
And so this first sequence that we're in is setting something up.
Yeah, it's obviously the start, the beginning.
The beginning. Let's get all the world building out the way. Let's get all the extra. That's why this book's 500 pages. The next one's only going to be like 3 and some, and probably going to feel like that from now on. I think maybe book 5 might be the longest because there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in that book. But I don't know. It may end up not being as long as I think it is. I don't know. It's just the way it's set up in my head. But 4, 5, and 6 is going to be telling another part of the act, and then the final act is 7, 8, and 9. And again, just deliciousness. I thought it was going to be just book 7, but it's going to be 7, 8, and 9 that's going to finish everything up. So that's why the trilogy of trilogies. And it just so happens that with the Enneagram, 9 keeps showing up. 9 showed up that way. 9 showed up that way. I almost wish, but I can't do it now. I almost wish that I would have changed the time in terms of how many hours are in a day to 27 instead of 28.
I get you.
Because 9, 18, 27, 3 9s.
Yeah.
There are 9 days in a week in their world.
Yeah.
9. So the number 9 keeps showing up, and I wish I would have put the hours in there that way, but I didn't.
I feel like that can.
It could be a nice little addition we throw in there, but it have to require a lot of edits. And instead of 27:59, it's 26:59 and stuff like that. But we could fix it later.
Oh no, talk to me. I feel like I can. I feel like I got something that can help with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then.
I feel like I got something that can help with that.
Okay. Yeah. So looking forward to that conversation. So then your second question was the character development.
Yeah.
So the way the Enneagram works is you have 9 characteristics. So just to give like a brief overview of the Enneagram, all of us carry all 9 traits. All of us carry all 9 of them. So it's not like I have one and that's the only one that I have. We actually have all 9. And the point of the Enneagram is to help us to understand, that we can pull on all of these traits to give us more options and more choices on how to deal with daily life. That's the point of the system. It's not to say that you are this and you are only this. It's to say you have been conditioned to think only this way. And because of your life, because of circumstances, you are conditioned to think primarily this way. But by understanding who you are, you can also understand how to pull on these other 8 traits to be a more holistic person rather than just operating in the one way that you do. So with that, you had your and I wish I would have brought the book in here because this would be so much easier just to.
And I was like,
you know what? I can go do that real quick.
Okay.
Because I think it'd be easier just to say it through here like this.
Okay.
And the camera can still pick my voice up. So give me 1 second. Where did I put you? Where is it? Shoot, might have to cut some of this out the tape.
While we're waiting for him to come back, I'm just going to pub this book a little bit more. You guys, this book is amazing. I do believe you want to go get it.
No, I got it.
No, I'm talking to the people. I told them that they want to go get this book because it's amazing.
Yeah.
It is where all of your books, all of where you get your books are. You go get it from there. But if you would like it autographed by the one and only. And if you would like this wonderful bookmark to go with it, you could buy it from us.
Through
yes, where?
Through not through TikTok, because we're dismantling that because of everything TikTok got going on right now. When they come back, I'll come back, and then but primarily through Shopify. If you look up the Affinity Theory on Shopify, it'll take you directly to my website. You can also just go to my links. Go for where if you're following me, all my links are there. The store is there. Hit on it. If you're in if you're on Instagram or Facebook, the store is actually in the Instagram and in Facebook. Just got to tap the keys to get to it. So again, I've made it extremely easy to get a book from me. By the time this episode comes out, we'll be in January. So my $5 sale for the for the ebook will be gone. But again, if you don't have the coins to get you a paper version, get you a cheap e-version, then when you love the book, like we know you will, come back and see us for a hardback or a paperback.
Yes. And keep following him, you guys, because you never know when he might give a sale or whatever to try to get a book, giveaways, prizes, whatever. Even when the ebook may go down some more, just keep following them so that you can see these things and know these things. So
absolutely. So this is the book, one of the books anyway, entitled Enneagram Empowerment. It's one of the easiest books to give you an overview of the Enneagram. So again, to all my writers, all my creatives who are trying to figure out how to develop your characters, I would say go get a copy of this. And what you will want to do, what I did for my characters is I ran these tests as if they were them, as if I were them. And so I took the test as Simone, I took the test as Malcolm, I took the test as Daisy, took the test as Carl, on and on and on. And that's how I got who they are in these books. And so I'll let you know who these characters are as we're going through the types. So the type 1 is known as the visionary. They're known as very idealistic, conscientious, responsible, discerning, purposeful, rational, perfectionistic. No, it's not. But
for real?
But it's close.
I'm gonna try. So
it's
I
close.
have not.
It's
he
close.
has not told me how he has developed these characters. So I'm gonna try to guess them.
Okay.
As you give the type, but my first with the visionary was Malcolm.
No, it is not. No, it is not. And so rather than read these parts right here, well, you know what? Let me see. What do I want to do? Yeah, you know what? We'll do it like this. So idealistic, conscientious, responsible, discerning, purposeful, rational, perfectionistic, orderly, self-controlled, and principled. So type 1s want to make themselves, other people, and the world around them better. They see the world not just for what it is, but for what it could be. And they want everything they touch to meet the highest possible standard. Seeing potential wherever they look, they are often visionaries and change makers. 1s tend to be conscientious rule followers who care about having a good reputation.
All right, I got it. It's Daisy.
Yes.
It's Daisy.
Yes. Their moral compass is strong, and they see the world in clear black and white categories. Although 1s might sometimes be judgmental, it is important to note that they are harder on themselves than on anyone else. A harsh voice lives in the head of every Enneagram 1, constantly critiquing them or what they could be doing better. 1s struggle with perfectionism and live in fear of making mistakes. Since nobody, not even 1s themselves, can live up to their standards, the key obstacle for type 1s is irritation and resentment toward themselves and other people.
That is full on Daisy. Yup. Okay.
Type 2s are called connectors. They are relational, generous, empathetic, people-pleasing, charming, caring, supportive, nurturing, intuitive, and possessive. The world of a type 2 is all about relationships. They are called the connectors because building and maintaining relationships is their primary motivation. 2s have the sixth sense of empathy and can sense the needs and feelings of those around them. They are caring, supportive, and nurturing. Friendly and charming, the endearing nature of 2s helps them make friends, but often leaves them feeling depleted. It's easy for 2s to get lost in the care of other people while neglecting their own needs. They tend to be very generous with their time, energy, ideas, and resources, but finding themselves giving more than they receive, 2s often feel taken for granted or used.
Is that Alexia?
Look at you.
Okay.
The main obstacle for type 2s is overdependence and manipulation. They care for others with the goal of being cared for in return. They love in the hopes of being loved. Driven by the fear of not being wanted and loved, type 2s overextend themselves for others so that they will feel needed.
Yeah. That's Alexia.
Type 3s are called luminaries. They're motivated, adaptable, impressive, vain, confident, competitive, productive, hardworking, appearance-focused, energetic, successful. Type 3s see the world through the lens of potential achievements and successes. 3s set their sights high and usually accomplish what they put their minds to. Often key or popular figures in their social circles, they are called the luminaries because of their impressive and charismatic nature. Energetic and productive, 3s are driven to success and willing to put in the work it takes to get there. 3s are ambitious, diligent, and determined to reach their full potential. Often they have a gift for inspiring and helping others to become their best selves too. Despite their apparent confidence, 3s are driven by the fear that they won't be worthy of love and acceptance. They feel they must project certain characteristics to earn a place in the world and in their relationships. The obstacles 3s face are emotional dishonesty and superficiality. In an effort to look valuable, 3s become overly competitive, put on fake appearances, and take on false traits in order to impress.
Is that Simone?
No, it is not.
No?
Mm-mm.
What the heck?
Mm-mm.
Okay, wait a minute. Really? It's not Malaysia?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
Take on appearances. I'm stumped by that one. Stunted. To be successful and impressive, to be desirable and admired, to be valued. Because that is not KC.
No.
Yeah. Is that one we haven't met yet?
No, we met him.
Who is that?
It's Duncan.
Oh, why am I forgetting Duncan? Oh my gosh.
Duncan
yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Big time Duncan.
Big time Duncan.
Golly.
Mm-hmm.
He's
I want to be impressive.
Yes.
I want to be seen.
He even says it. You know,
yeah,
let me do this so I can
get you off my back.
Off my back so he can see that
I
can
got
do
arms,
this.
but I got guns.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I forgot about Duncan. That's bad.
Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad.
That's real bad. I'm sorry, Duncan.
Just hurt that man's feelings.
Don't.
Type 4s are known as the artist. Sensitive, authentic, expressive, introspective, gentle, creative, moody, self-conscious, emotional, compassionate. 4s see the world through the lens of their emotions. Sensitive, wistful, and creative, 4s desire a life that is unique and rich with meaning. With an eye for beauty, 4s are often artistic or aesthetically gifted. Empathetic and tender-hearted, 4s have the gift of holding ambiguity and are able to find meaning in both the lighter and darker sides of life. 4s are tuned into their own emotions. They easily get pulled inward into the romantic and stormy world inside themselves. Although 4s present an image of uniqueness and intrigue, they are driven by fear of not knowing who they really are. Excuse me. They want to have a meaningful and individual identity. They want to get enough out of life, but they worry that they are incomplete. Their key obstacles are jealousy and ingratitude. They feel that others have something they don't, and in their yearning for more, they forget to find joy in the present. So I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, there is no one in this that fits this
that's
yet.
That's hard.
Yeah, no one fits this yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, no one fits this yet. Okay. So that's why there's like, who is that? Yeah. No one fits that.
Okay.
Type 5 is the philosopher.
I better get this one.
Cerebral, objective, self-sufficient, rational, private, competent, disciplined, reserved, independent, thoughtful. 5s see the world in terms of information. As keen observers of life, 5s have the ability to collect, sort, and store lots of information and ideas. 5s are rational, disciplined, and consistent. Type 5s live in their heads. They approach life thoughtfully and analytically and are unlikely to be swayed by emotion. They enjoy alone time more than any other Enneagram type. Their social energy is limited. When it comes to group activities, they often prefer to observe rather than participate. But their dependable and intentional nature makes them devoted partners and friends.
Yup.
Fives are driven by the fear of not having enough knowledge to be competent, not having enough energy for relationships, and not having enough dexterity to get through life successfully on their own. This means their key obstacle is stinginess. In a fear of not having enough, they hold on tightly to what they do have: information, resources, energy, and even love and affection.
Love it. Come on, Casey.
No.
Yes, it is. Don't you say that.
That's not him.
It's not Simone.
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
It is not Malaysia either.
No, it's not. You got one more.
Oh, my friend, I am so sorry. Oh, my God.
I knew you had that one.
I'm sorry. But the way you were talking is, no, because see, he's more quiet. Like,
yes.
But then, so is Malcolm. He's private. He's quiet. He's informational. Relationships are at a distance. And you can't really see that in Carl right now.
Correct.
You can't see that in him right now.
Which is why part of the thing that I loved about the Enneagram is that if you really dig into it the way that I have, the Enneagram also has layers. So what I'm
now we're going to see that a little bit later.
Right. Right. So what the Enneagram talks about is the fact that you have what you look like when you're at your worst. What you look like when you're at your best. This is just an overview of all of that. But there's a way that you look when you're at your best, and when Carl is at his best, which is like most of the time, because he's just like freaking awesome. So you'll never see him getting kind of his feelings like that.
Yeah.
You know, even when things are going rough, he's kind of like real cool, real calm, real like, all right. So he's a high. He's a high 5. He's not a low 5 or even a mid 5. So 5s, when they're at their best, they are very calm, cool, collected. They know when to speak. They're not, in their heads like a typical 5 would be. But again, when you see him, speak, he's like he's been watching the whole time. That's why the observant part. I've been watching y'all the whole time. Like,
okay. And I see that in Malcolm too, though. I see all of that in Malcolm.
And that's why I love the Enneagram. Because the Enneagram says all 9 traits are in us. It's just some things will show up more than others will. The primary trait that drives you is what a lot of where the decision making comes in, which is what when we get to Simone, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I get it now. Particularly because I know you don't, because you get on your nerves. But that's what you see a lot of is the decision making is being driven from a primary place, but it doesn't mean that is who they fully are. Because when you're at your highest form, according to the map, you inhabit all 9, and you're able to pull on and drag on. So again, Carl is, out of all of the people in the book, he is the one who is the most
freaking amazing.
He's the most centered of the group because he's just. What's the word I'm looking for?
Amazing.
Right? I mean, yeah.
When we get to this point, and we get to the point, I guess maybe at the end of the book, when we're like, what is your favorite quote in the book? I'm going to tell y'all. Yeah, you already know.
Wait. Yeah, she can't wait to get to that part. That's why we got to get these podcasts done fast. Type 6 is the advocate. This person's not in the book yet.
Okay.
Passionate, cautious, loyal, strategic, caring, intuitive, anxious, dependable, devoted, skeptical. 6s see the world in terms of security and threat, carefully choosing where they put their trust. Their main motivation is to feel supported and secure. But 6s...
Twin? Sorry. My bad. I'm right though.
Listen, yes, you are. You nailed it.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
Y'all didn't hear that.
Listen, it's all good. It's coming out next year.
Okay.
It's coming out next year. So I ain't even worry about it. It's all good though, because we here. I ain't even got to read the rest of it. That's 6.
This is fun.
Right. Hey, with all my little nerd notes. That's why I say, our authors who are reading, go get you a personality type system. It doesn't have to be this, but get you a personality type system so that way you know your characters.
Yeah.
That's all. So
and you don't have to use all 9. Pick one.
You don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, all 9 of the characters are not there. I'm putting all 9 of them because of how it's tied to the book.
Yeah.
So all 9 traits will eventually show up, in the team at some point. But again, you pick your 2 for whoever you're writing for, and again, let this drive the decisions that they make, so that way you're not having to figure out how to make them. They've already done the homework for you. It's been used for 100 years. They've already done the homework for you, so you ain't got to go do the homework. Just get you a book, read it, apply it to the character, and be done with it. 7 is the explorer. Optimistic, enthusiastic, impulsive, adventurous, indulgent, spontaneous, positive, assertive, playful, resilient. Type 7 see life through a filter of optimism and positivity. They find the bright side in everything. 7s move through life like explorers, full of curiosity and wonder, always on the lookout for the next exciting discovery or pursuit. And 7s know how to have fun. They thrive on spontaneity and adventurous experiences. Imaginative and bold, 7s have the assertiveness it takes to instigate new ideas and get things started. And they want to pack in as much fun as possible along the way. 7s love having stories to tell about their insights or experiences. Their optimism and playfulness makes them incredibly resilient. The key obstacles for 7s is emotional avoidance. Driven by fear of feeling empty, lonely, or overwhelmed by sadness, 7s avoid acknowledging the more negative or uncomfortable emotions in life. Instead, they fill themselves up with entertainment and distractions. This impulsive avoidance of negative emotions leads to overindulgence and a dismissal of other people's feelings and needs.
That latter part sounds like Casey a little bit, but is that Simone?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
That latter part is her?
Yes.
Okay.
You see that in...
Oh, okay. More into... Okay.
Gotcha. You see it more in 2. But that is Simone. That's Simone.
Well, I feel like we done hit most of them. Wait, we're missing Malcolm and Alexia?
Malaysia.
We've already done Malaysia, thank you.
Type 8 is the warrior. Confident, passionate, strong, decisive, controlling, protective, independent, energetic, oppositional, honest. Type 8s move through the world with a power and keen awareness of the power around them. They sense who is in control versus who is being controlled, who has the power versus who is more vulnerable, and who is fair and just versus who is taking advantage of the weak. 8s want to know who's in charge, and often it's them. Confident and strong, 8s thrive on intensity and take life head on with energy and charisma. They passionately stand up for what they believe in and passionately protect the people they care about. They value honesty and justice above all else. They want to experience life to the fullest, so they struggle with excessiveness, doing too much, saying too much, and consuming too much. Despite their toughness, 8s have tender hearts and are scared of being hurt or betrayed. The key obstacle for 8s are excessiveness and an issue with control. Fueled by a fear of being hurt or controlled, 8s put up a tough exterior, ignoring their more tender feelings and attempt to control the environment and the people around them.
I mean, it sounds like it'd be both. I would lean more toward Malaysia.
Good job.
But I mean, some of it sounds like her, some of it doesn't. Like I guess we haven't seen that vulnerable side of her that much, as much. She doesn't seem like the control freak.
Right.
I don't know if she's seen it. I don't know if in book 2 is where we kind of see a little bit more with the relationship that she's going to be in. I think that's in 2. Yeah, that's in 2. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then 9 is the diplomat. Peaceful, flexible, accepting, friendly, approachable, forgetful, kind, indecisive,
Is he approachable?
adaptable. Let me finish. 9 see the world in light of the peacefulness or instability of their connections and relationships. They are sensitive to any kind of discord and want everybody to get along. Flexible and adaptable, they value having a calm environment and will usually sacrifice their own preferences and feelings to keep it that way. Typically, 9s are approachable and friendly, loved by many and disliked by few. They have a unique ability to see things from 1,000 different points of view. While they are accepting and inclusive, They are also frequently indecisive and forgetful of their own opinions and needs. In fear of losing their connections and relationships, nines often lose themselves. Their key obstacle is self-ignorance and passivity. Absorbed in their pursuit of keeping harmony, nines easily morph into versions of the people around them, adapting their preferences and priorities and losing sight of who they really are. This lack of individuality and differentiation ends up causing them more existential crisis and anxiety in the end.
I see that. I almost feel like his a lot of what was said in there is for like a higher authority, because you see where he's a leader to the team, and he'll speak to the team in a way that he won't speak to Malik. Like he just gets hush mouth. So I can see that.
Right. And so again, what we see within the Enneagram and what we see within these relationships is that they're very interchangeable over time.
Yeah.
Because like we said, the safer that Malcolm feels with Malik, the more he'll speak his mind.
True.
The less he knows a person, the less a situation, if he knows he can't figure out a way or can't do a way, he will not speak. You know, because he doesn't want to cause trouble. He doesn't want to cause waves, doesn't want to cause issues. So, yeah, I want to say something, but saying something may cost me this or may cost me that. Or, and I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose position. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut. And so, you see a lot of the interchangeability within all of them. And so, again, that's what helped me to get to where I'm at. And I know it took us 5,000 years to say all of that, but I am so glad I get to say it for the first time.
I know. I mean, that's good. That's good stuff to know, because this is where the characters develop.
That's where they came. That's where they came from.
Delve deeper into a certain character that you like,
go get a personality type system and do that work. Again, the test doesn't take long. Within the Enneagram, it's just these few little questions right here. And what I'll do is for the sake of the video on YouTube, I'll take a picture of this so that way you can have the personality type questions there. But again, it's not that difficult to do. And it, again, makes it 50 times easier for you to be able to know what your character's thinking and be able to flesh them out a whole lot more because you know how they think. If you know how they think and how they feel, it becomes easier for you to then map out what you would like to do with them. And all that to say, that's why the number 9 is so important in my book.
I love it. All that. And I mean, that's a writer's process. So I think that's important for all of you writers out there who are wondering what the process is. Writer's block, all that kind of stuff, like those things can help. And so it's almost like if you see yourself in one of the characters, try to figure out if you can figure out what number they are, and maybe that's your number.
Maybe.
Figure out why you do some of the things you do, why you may feel some of the things you feel, all that good stuff. Your ups, your lows, your highs, your lows, your in-betweens. So, I mean, that's cool. That's
awesome.
Cool. So, look, now we're about to go and finally see Simone personalize her room. And when you get there, I'm like, man, if I could just be like
blue, yellow,
red and silver,
run it.
I want a little streak right there, put a cross right there, you know.
Right.
I'm like, man.
I love my world.
You get, okay.
I'm able to talk to somebody.
I know, just think it and it just pop up. It just pop up. I
get to paint my room. It's like LED lights, basically, in the walls. Get to put designs where I want them, and I ain't got to pay nobody to do it. I ain't got to go to Lowe's and Home Depot and match paints and tape stuff up and move furniture around. Just yellow.
Okay. Carpet.
Right. Carpet.
Wooden floor.
Sprouting.
Okay. Black rug. Let's go. Okay. Hey, smudge, be gone. So I want to say, and I'm going to continue to say this throughout the book, Simone is so annoying. I'm going to say this time. And this probably about the only time I'm going to really say this. And if you ask me if I said it, I'm going to deny it. She is annoying, but she is persistent.
Yes, she is.
She is very persistent.
Yes, she is persistent.
That's a good, a bad,
on this
an
day,
annoying,
12/15, 2024.
All of the above.
Persistent.
Trait to have. She is very persistent in what she wants. And she wants Malcolm. She's so
Type 7. She's next, her next challenge. Yep.
How do you see, I think we've talked about this before, but say it again. How do you see yourself as Simone?
How do I see myself as Simone?
Now, one way I'm going to say how I see you as Simone is with this book. Let's go. All right.
I almost said something derogatory on this doggone podcast.
Now, how do you see yourself as Simone?
I almost said something real derogatory. Give me a cue.
Very persistent with this book. Go get her.
I can handle that. I'll tell you that right now. Do you? I'll figure out how to get that on captions. I mean that you nailed it though. Like when there's something that I want, when I see a challenge, I want to take it down. Mm-hmm. That's been me from time I was 5, man. Like if I see a challenge, I want to take it. I want to take it head on, and I get focused on it, and I focused until I finish it. Like now, and just like Simone, I will do it until I'm bored with it. I'll do it till I'm bored with it. My last indulgence before writing the books was doing jigsaw puzzles. Like I got heavy focused on that. Heavy fixated on that. I wasn't even trying to get focused on it. I was doing the puzzles because I thought it'd be something cool. We just got the house. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of like, this is our family thing that we do. I started doing them. The kids were doing it with me. They got bored. They left. I stayed at the table, and one puzzle turned into 10, turned into 50, turned into 1,000. I get on the Instagram, and they're like, "Ooh, you're a puzzler too," and stuff like that. Made friends, did competitions. I was hosting a competition at one point, and then I got bored. And when I got bored, I stopped puzzling.
The next challenge.
What's the next challenge? That's how it's been, man. I learned how to play the piano because my grandma needed to learn how to play piano, so she asked me to help. So in helping her, I learned. I enjoyed it for a while, and then one day I got bored. And when I got bored, I found the next challenge. That's always been my thing. Now, and me saying this, hear me clear. I'm not gonna get bored with this. I have found my system that allows me to never get bored with this. But I'm glad we're bringing this up. I had to learn my system in order to not get bored. Yeah. Because what would end up happening is I would do one thing, I would master that one thing, and then that one thing would get boring to me, and I'd leave it. So the thing about self-publishing for me that's made this journey worthwhile and allows me to keep doing it is that there are so many different moving parts. Yeah. So when I'm bored with writing, I'll go and edit. When I'm bored with editing, I'll go do cover design. When I'm bored with cover design, I'll go do something else. And so there's all these moving parts of the process that keep me stimulated to where now I want to go back and write. I go back and write. Yeah. But it's not just one thing that I'm doing. There's multiple parts to it. And that's something that I had to learn about myself, which is something similar that Simone need to learn. I don't know if she will. But that's how I am her. When I get focused on something, I'm in. Like when I was focused on playing those video games and beating those video games down, I was beating them down. When's the last time I played a video game? It's been a minute. Because I got bored with it.
Though,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. We Comic Crash. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We mastered Comic Crash.
Just go back for the fun.
For the fun of it now. When we put it on super hard mode. Try not to die, and if we do, oh well.
Get hit one time.
Run it back. Because this is what we're here for. Like we done already beat this game 50 times, so we're just trying to see whether or not we still got it. Yeah. If we still got it, yay. If we don't, run it back because we gonna get it. And so that's how it is. Like, I'm playing Mario Kart right now. When I get bored of Mario Kart, I'll put it down and go play something else. That's me. I'm always looking for the next challenge, and I think that really just comes from playing video games growing up. Like once we beat the game, mastered the game, memorized how to beat the game, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, 3, Knuckles, I learned how to beat all of them. And so now it's just run it.
Mm-hmm.
Mario.
That's how we do it. Mario. We just run it through.
Run it. Let's just see how far we can get till we pass out. And we just go.
That's fun.
And so,
yeah.
So
I will say, I mean, I'll give her that. She's persistent in what she wants. She has her goal and she wants to get to that goal. And so I will say that, because when she gets back, as hurt as she feels, because you'll read where she's like, you know, even like wincing from being hurt because she was a dummy and didn't put a cloak on right. Everywhere she think Malcolm goes, she's a stalker. Freaking stalker. But she gets cornered by the analysts, and so then they start talking about what happened.
Yes.
And that's gonna go into like when we get nearing the end of this chapter. But he's talking to her about like what happened, I believe, and giving all those dark and light numbers. Yes. So what is the dark and light numbers? What do they like really mean? What's good? What's bad?
Here's without giving too much away.
Yeah.
Without giving too much away. The numbers are relevant, but not, because again, it's their measuring system. Mm-hmm. It's how they measure things. They're the only people that measure things this way. So
the company is.
Mm-hmm, they're the only ones who measure things this way. So it really doesn't matter.
So streak them, they don't measure.
No. So streaking them, they don't measure nothing
like that. They don't even know what that means.
They don't even know what any of
But I get where the analyst is. I think it's for him, because he sees how powerful someone is and how powerful someone else is, and sees which one's more powerful
based on
and can see how much of their power they're using, because you can't really see how much power someone is using, you know, just by looking at them or seeing what they throw out.
Correct.
And
so the numbers are relevant for him and for the company.
Yeah.
They're relevant for him and for the company.
It's almost like a play. It's almost like a sport.
Yes.
It's almost like a sport.
Yes. In fact, I mean, that's why he said the Evo Creatura I always have a hard time saying this when I say it. I feel like I wish I would have said it, called it something else. The Evo Creatura Project. I always want to say project when I get done with Creatura.
Okay. Because you're already saying
Right. So it's like I gotta say it twice. Evo Creatura Project. So it's there, but it's their system. They built that system based upon these 90,000 points, and then they synthesize it in such a way to where they're able to come up with these things. Initially, I wanted that to be kind of like a primary driver of things, but as the story has evolved, those numbers have become less relevant, and you'll see why once we get to the second trilogy.
Yeah, because and I noticed that, you know, you don't like bring the numbers up like that, and even in the second one, it's not even like numbers, but it's more of,
you know, strength, weakness,
and your ability to do to enhance your power.
Right.
How is it enhanced?
Exactly. And we'll talk about that once we get further down the line. However, speaking of enhancement, that's what the analyst starts to recognize right away. He's y'all are enhancing weirdly fast.
Talking to him and
Simone. Yeah, he talked to Malcolm and said,
first,
you did something.
What happened?
Simone, you noticed something.
Yeah.
What happened? And they're like, I don't know. I just was fighting. I looked at him. I was fighting. I looked at her. And he's like, okay. Keep that little mental note in my head. Y'all look at each other.
Malcolm's finna go train.
Yes.
He's finna get ready to go train. And Simone's stalkerish ass finna go in the train. Finna go in there too.
Yep.
And this is one of those little nuggets. Like the first battle she was in was a nugget. I feel like you keep dropping nuggets in this book, and it's almost like one of those, like if you watch a movie and you see where something is like a big moment and then you see it again at the end, you're going to see this again at the end. And so you drop the first nugget when they battle together, and then you're about to drop another nugget when Malcolm goes to train, and the stalker goes after him, and then he's in the training room, and he doesn't know that she's in the observation room. And so as they're training, Malcolm's like, I'm sorry, am I going too fast?
Well, just before you go there, you know, in the midst of that,
I mean, I'm shaking. I'm getting excited.
I know, right? Simone goes to the elevator to go down and meet Carl and Malaysia meet them, like,
catch us stalkers there.
Right. And they're like, where you going? I'm just looking for Malcolm. Where's Malcolm right now? He's going to training. Where you going? Training.
Yeah.
Okay, got another Malcolm on our hands.
Yeah.
And so even now you're starting to see kind of their personality traits. They are similar yet different at the same time. Similar yet different. And in that, it goes to show the nature of the relationship that, like you said, dropping nuggets. They're kind of, you know, there's a line that's coming, I think, in the next chapter. So we won't bring it up here, but it's like, you know, everybody can see them plain as day. Like they're not surprising anybody with anything that's going on with them, even among themselves. And so we're seeing that more and more as we go through. I think even let me see. Yeah, Malcolm said last time I evolved was 3 years ago, and that's only okay. So that's the next chapter. That's the next chapter. So now they're down. He's in the training room. She's watching him from the observation room.
Yeah. Okay. And so he's getting frustrated because he can't produce what he did in the battle. And so I'm trying to figure out what make her stalker behind put her hand up against the wall to feel him. I mean, not to feel him, but before she even was that before or after? Because he then starts to feel her energy.
Yes.
Malcolm rolled backward, landing on one knee and rolled toward there's that pose.
Toward
the observation room, standing next to the wall. His back was to Simone, where her hand touched the window. The robots continued their assaults, and Malcolm collected the beams. Come on, man, you can do this, he said to himself. Simone's pupils dilated. So I wondered, why did she? I'm wondering why she did what she did. Is it that she could feel something from him, or what was that? Because then she starts to go all ham.
Yes, yes, and so. Again, not trying to reveal anything away, because we really, I'll go ahead and say this: the answer to these questions that we're posing right now, they are not going to get answered until 5.
Oh, okay.
So there's a long time before we finally get the answers to these questions. So it looks like plot holes. Like, this doesn't make sense, because even Malcolm said in this chapter. He says, where is it?
And the room was closed. Like, so the observation room and the training room, the room is closed. So how is she breaking through the cloak of the observation room?
I can't tell you till 5.
Oh, and that's crazy, y'all, because even I don't know.
I can't tell you till 5.
I don't know.
I can't tell you till 5. If you want me to tell you, I will, but I'm not going to tell you here.
No.
I'll wait till.
No.
So yeah, you will not find out until 5.
Wow.
You will not find out till 5. It looks like a plot hole, because it's like, because Malcolm said it himself. The room is closed.
The room is closed.
How am I feeling her right now?
I shouldn't be feeling anything but what's inside the room.
She's not in this room. How am I feeling that weird energy? That's the same weird energy.
And the thing is, he knows it's her.
He knows it's her. Because he said it from Jump Street, from the first time he met her. Your energy is, I've never felt anything like this before.
Where do you get that from?
Twilight.
Yeah, I knew it.
I've never felt anything like this before.
I can't tell what
this is. This is weird, right? It's like a drug. You're the only one that's ever done that. Twilight. I told y'all, X-Men meets Twilight meets Hancock meets the Avengers. I'm gonna play about the Twilight part. Twilight is in here. That's where I get it from. Like, I've never felt anything like you before. Of all my years of being who I am, I've never felt you before. This is brand new.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Malcolm said the first time he met her. I've never felt your energy before. Even when he was leaving Malik's office after being like, okay, I guess I gotta play nice with this girl, but I gotta figure out what her energy is. If I don't figure out nothing else, what is driving her engine?
Yeah.
He talked about her that, he's going to talk about it again. He's talking about it right now. I feel this energy. He connected to it in the bank. Like, I feel her energy. Oh, shoot, she's not cloaked.
Yeah.
Like, I can constantly feel, I'm constantly feeling her energy. What is this? So, again, when he's in the training room and he feels her energy, you're absolutely right. I can feel Simone in this room.
She's not in
She's
here.
not in
this
here.
This room is cloaked.
Why do I feel her energy right now? I can't tell you why till 5.
Y'all hear that? Y'all keep going along this ride.
So if she gets curious enough, I'll tell her, but I can't tell you.
Man.
But I can't say nothing to us until 5, because otherwise it's gonna give everything away. And so I can't say nothing about that.
Yeah.
But he feels her energy in the room, despite the fact that the room is cloaked.
Yeah. Hey, I wonder why do y'all think think? Like, let me know. Yeah.
What do you think's happened in that space?
That would be cool to hear from y'all.
Like, what do you think happened?
Yeah.
Holla at us and let us know what you're thinking.
I like that.
I got a note in here that says Simone craves a fight. Fighting is her drug. It turns her on. So this was the note of the book. The eroticism of this book is steeped in her longing for a fight and a fighter worthy of her. What I didn't want to do was to try to turn this into a very carnal book, even though they're falling for each other. And so my way of warping that was by turning the F word into fighting. So a lot of what you would see in the 50 Shades and in Twilight and in Hancock to a lesser degree, and what's the 365, that garbage. What you see happening between those interactions is a similar thing you see here, except it's fighting.
Yeah.
I want to fight. That's code for I want to.
But she wants to fight everybody.
Right, exactly. And so that's why for me, that's what that is. And so it's not that she wants to everybody, she wants to fight everybody. And that becomes one of the driver for her. In so much that I want to, I'm itching for a fight. Later on in the book, she'll have a whole conversation about what that drive feels like for her. And that stems from a lot of conversations that I've had from people who have had higher drives and being able to understand and unpack that. Because even though I do, but I don't, I don't understand what that feels like. And so from having conversations between people and clients that I've had, it helped me to be able to articulate what does that look like for someone.
You have addicts. So you have addicts who just can't, I feel like, can't control it, just like drug addicts. Just like
that movie, the movie Addicted.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't.
It was such a long time. We saw it one time, and it was that's not all that it was cracked up to be. But yeah, that's what's happening. So she's an addict for a fight. Mm-hmm. Albeit it's more subdued and controlled than other addicts might be. A little bit.
She's still a stalker.
You know what I mean? Yeah, she's still stalking this dude. It just is what it is at this point. But again, and we'll get to this in the next chapter, with their powers entangling the way they do, they don't understand what's happening to them. And so while, yes, she's looking for a challenge, there is a draw, which goes to the hand pressing up against the window. I'm pulling on you. I'm pulling on your power. And so when as he's messing with her, she's messing with him. As she's messing with him, he's messing with her. And we're going to see that in the next chapter when because I made sure to make a note for 7. That's going to happen again, and they're not going to know what that is. They think that it's them, but it's really their powers. They're entangling with each other. And that's why we're seeing the spike in their evolution, because their powers are messing with each other.
Gotcha. Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, you kind of see, you saying you have a note for 7, but you kind of see their powers entangling and messing with each other here too, because It says Simone was caught up, not realizing that Malcolm was supercharging her energy as he drew power from her. She released control of her body and flowed with the compulsion to levitate. Her eyes glowed like stars, and her hair's color changed from jet black. The description in here is amazing, y'all. And a yellow R framed her petite body. Malcolm dropped his shield and raised his right hand in the air. He then swirled his arms while keeping his palms flat, and the lasers continued to collect and swirl in a big ball of beams. And it just keeps going on, like what their powers are doing to him as he is fighting, and also what they're doing to her as she is actually like levitating and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because once she gets done, release some sparks from her hands to release some of the pressure, hoping it be enough. Lowered herself back to the ground, aura dissipated, eyes returned to their original brown, hair jet black. She thinks, where the Freemans did this feeling come from? Do I want him that much? I don't even know him like that, but I want him. I have to figure out why. If he makes me feel this alive just standing near him
in a cloaked room.
In a cloaked room, imagine what he can make me feel if he's entangled with me. With not even realizing you're already entangled.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why she then says, like, because he's about to run it again, she's like, oh, heck no.
Right.
I'm going to burn this room
to the ground.
If we can do this while the room is cloaked, you want to do this again? But they don't. He doesn't know. She knows.
She kind of knows now. You know, but she's thinking it's just because she's like caught up in his fight, and all that jazz. But no, they're entangled with their powers are entangling, and so when she goes into the room, this is what goes into, his not wanting to fight with folk.
Because then here she goes again. I'm like, you just don't get persistence right there. But then it's annoying. Very annoying. And so she's asking him again, you gonna fight with me? No, I don't want to spar with nobody. You're not gonna be any different. Oh, you fight me. But I guess it's where I guess she gets on my nerves here because she just won't stop. No means no. No means no.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's not a laughing matter.
Nah.
No means no. Yes, it does. That is not a laughing matter. It was funny.
Just
come from the way it is. But it's not a laughing matter. No.
Simone, no. Leave me the frick alone. I don't want to fight you.
Leave me alone.
Even though I do want to fight you.
Even though I want to fight you. No. No. I don't want to fight you. Leave me alone. I want to fight. Leave me alone. Back the frick up.
But even that is intriguing to Malcolm because he then goes here and says, it's talking about Simone being interesting because nobody's ever stepped to him, wanted to spar with him just because. But I mean, for my thing, it's not just because. I feel like she got her own agenda too.
X.
Should I go back in there and say yes? And so like he's just torn. And so I see how he is that type 9 person. Never felt anything like it before. If she can channel it better, she'll make one frame of an elite defender soon. Just focus on keeping her alive. The mission is complete. And so then the book is getting ready to end.
To the one. Do what's right.
Do what's right. Okay. Because then she starts talking, and I like how you go like back, and I feel like I mentioned this in like when we get to chapter 7. I feel like I mentioned how I like how you kind of go back and forth between one person to another, even with their thoughts. It's kind of cool. It is like I'm watching a movie and I'm picturing, okay, he's saying this. Oh, we just jumped to Simone now, and she's kind of thinking the same thing. What is wrong with me? My eyes just grow. I just levitated. What is this? And so,
thank Malika Grant for all of that, because she was the one who said, "I don't know how they thinking. I need you to tell me a little bit more about their thinking."
Yeah.
Okay, 20,000 more words to add to this book. Run it.
She's still a punk because the very last line of hers is her thought. You're gonna fight me now.
Damn right.
As
That's
forget.
Right. That's right. And fight they gonna do. So it's all good. But again, I love it, man. I love it. And this again just continuing to set the stage. These beginning chapters are setting the stage for what's coming ahead. And so again, I love it. And
I'm excited.
It just makes it more and more exciting.
Yeah.
To see their interaction, and again how their interaction is going to affect and change everything that's going on around
and
them.
Everyone.
So yeah, man, that's all. I think that's all in my notes. Everything that's in my notes for this chapter.
It's chapter 6. A conversation. And I guess that was mainly the conversations with the analysts,
With
and
the analysts.
even the conversations
Yes.
within themselves, though, too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Okay.
Chapter 6, the conversation.
That's all I got here too. Outside of just the first attempt to change Malcolm's approach to training, but we already just talked about that. So yeah, man. Again, listen, thank y'all for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for reading the book, for buying the book, for talking about the book, for sharing the book with everybody. We appreciate all the love and support that you've given the series, given the saga, that you've given us. We appreciate it so much. If you haven't gotten a book yet, go get a book. If you have gotten one, get two. Friend.
Gift it, yeah.
And again, just continue to follow us on all the platforms under Eddie D Writes. That's Eddie DEEWRITES on all the platforms. That's where you get all the latest info about where we are, what we're doing, updates on the book, updates on the audio book, updates on book 2, anything saga related, and just continue to support, share, like, comment, all that jazz.
Yes.
Because again, we're the book is great all by itself, but you guys giving it the support that you're giving is what's going to continue to drive this thing further into where we're trying to go with it. So again, thank y'all so much. And I'm just going to put this shameless little plug out there. If you know somebody who knows somebody in the movie TV industry and you think they might like this, let me know who they are in a comment somewhere. I will give them a book. I'll pay for it myself, get it to them. So that way we can put this in the hands of whoever needs to get into. Again, thank y'all so much for watching this latest episode of the Affinity Saga podcast. And as always, you can't see the good,
be the good.
We love you guys. Peace out, homies.
Peace out.